I want to begin this review by saying that I thought that Kid Rock's Rock and Roll Jesus album was one of the better rock albums that I've had the pleasure of hearing in my lifetime. And when he morphed into a more of a Bob Seger style rocker with his album Born Free, I found it to be refreshingly honest and real. Both of these albums showed him to be a more thoughtful and mature songwriter, but still at times full of all that great rock and roll piss and vinegar. Now, I preface this review with these statements because I want you to understand that I like Kid Rock. Along with his music, I applaud his efforts to make his tours more affordable to average folks like me. It probably took a lot of haggling with venues to make that happen. I also appreciate that he's gone the extra mile for fans. For instance, in the past he has done things like include the physical CD with the vinyl version of his albums, as opposed to just offering just a download code, which is what happens with most vinyl releases. So at this point, you're probably thinking that I am going to just utterly slam his latest release, First Kiss. But I'm not going to. It's not a terrible album. There are some good tracks on it. I particularly liked the groove of the love song Johnny Cash. I enjoyed him expressing his political and social outrage in songs like Not Enough Whiskey. But some of the songs do get under my skin and not in the best of ways. Now, the album's title and opening track feels too much like he is trying to remake Summer of '69 by Bryan Adams. His efforts to do this remind me of a similar effort by filmmaker Bryan Singer at capturing, or I should say recapturing, the original Richard Donner Superman movies with his film Superman Returns. The effort, while well-intentioned, didn't succeed and felt old and tired. And I feel like this effort by Kid Rock was well-intentioned as well, but just doesn't succeed. Now, the second song, Good Times and Cheap Wine, has a nice enough rock groove, but its lyrics, while trying to make a declaration of who he, and by way of extension, who his audience is, come off as divisive and like it's deliberately trying to appeal to the Honey Boo Boo crowd. It's very, we are like this and they are like that. And if you like Coldplay, then you are them and not us. And I've never liked divisive rhetoric. And this is my chief complaint about the album. Rock has shown that he is a good songwriter, but too many times this album's songs feel calculated to appeal more to a demographic than to music lovers. I want to think that Kid Rock is being sincere with these songs, but to me, too many of the tracks feel like they were checklisted. Heavy-handed sentimentality to remind us that things were definitely better back in the old days as opposed to now. Check. References about Jesus, the Bible, and whiskey. Check. I'm guessing that Kid Rock is trying to be sincere on the song Jesus and Bocephus, and thematically the idea of singing about how the words of Hank Williams Jr. and the Bible have helped him in his life is just full of lyrical possibilities. But the song unintentionally borders on parody, and in the hands of different artists, I would have thought of the song as being satirical. The album's final track, entitled FOAD, listed as a bonus track on the version that I have heard, stands for F off and die. And yes, I've changed that a little bit because we, don't want to restrict the kids from listening. The song has Kid talking about a jilted lover who is bad-mouthing him since their breakup. And the chorus builds up to him telling her to F off and die. Now, songs like this can work if they come off as funny. And Kid Rock did this effectively on the song Half Your Age. But FOAD only comes off as vindictive and angry, which again could work also if I'm feeling empathy for the song's protagonist, but it lyrically gives me no reason to. But then there are good songs like One More Song, which effectively communicates the sadness and bitterness of a relationship gone bad, where I feel empathy for the song's main character, and it's a good song too. The previous two albums that I mentioned by Kid Rock succeeded because they featured some great songs surrounded by some good songs. And while I wouldn't call any of the songs on First Kiss as being plain out bad, I feel like it features some good songs surrounded by some songs that are neither here nor there, that at best sound tepid, and at worst come off as calculated. I find myself in a quandary as to how to rate this album. Recently, I gave the Imagine Dragons album, Smoke and Mirrors, 2.5 stars because while the majority of the songs did not work, there was at least potential within them to be good. It was the lowest rating I had given to an album so far. This is a better album than Smoke and Mirrors, but I find it hard to give it 3 stars. In retrospect, I really should have given Smoke and Mirrors about 2 out of 5 stars. So I'm giving First Kiss 2¼ stars out of 5. Always remember to download or stream music from legal websites that compensate musicians for their hard work. Every time you go to a pirate or BitTorrent site, you're unsticking it to the man. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe.